If you receive Social Security benefits, I need your full attention for the next 20 minutes, because what I am about to show you is the most alarming report ever published about the future of your retirement check. 2 days ago, on June 5th, 2026, Fortune magazine published a story based on a brand new report from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. The report is called No State Spared, and when you hear what is in it, you will understand exactly why they chose that name. According to this report, the Social Security Retirement Trust Fund is on track to run out of money by late 2032. That is 6 years from now. And when it does, by law, every single Social Security retirement check in America will be cut by 24%, automatically, immediately, no exceptions. For the average retiree, that means losing $500 every single month. $500. That is more than what the average retired household spends on groceries in an entire month. Gone. Just like that. And in 29 states, the average cut would be even higher than $500. Today, I am going to go through every single state in America so you can find out exactly how much your check could be reduced. I am going to show you which states are hit the hardest, which populations are most affected, and what the total economic damage looks like. This is Senior Alert USA. My name is. If you are not subscribed, do it right now and hit that bell, because this is the kind of information that can change your life. And please share this video with every senior you know. Share it with your spouse, your neighbors, your church group. Everyone who collects Social Security needs to see this. Let us get into the numbers. Before I go through the state-by-state numbers, let me explain what is actually happening, because a lot of people hear Social Security is going bankrupt, and they panic. And while this is serious, it is important that you understand exactly what we are dealing with. Social Security is primarily funded by payroll taxes. Every time you got a paycheck during your working years, 6.2% of your income went to Social Security. Your employer paid another 6.2%. That money goes into what is called the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, or OASI. For decades, more money was coming in than was going out. The trust fund built up reserves. But starting about 16 years ago, that flipped. The cost of Social Security's retirement program started exceeding its cash income. More people were retiring, the baby boom generation, and fewer workers were paying in relative to the number of beneficiaries. So, the trust fund has been slowly draining. And according to the latest estimates from the Social Security Administration itself, that trust fund will be completely exhausted by late 2032. Now here's the critical part. When the trust fund runs out, Social Security does not disappear. Let me repeat that. It does not go to zero. Payroll taxes will still be coming in from workers, but those taxes will only cover about 76% of promised benefits. That means, by law, benefits must be reduced to match what the program can actually pay, and that reduction is projected to be 24% across the board for every beneficiary, whether you are 70 years old or 90 years old. Whether you live in California or Connecticut, everyone gets cut. And what made this worse? The One Big Beautiful Bill that was signed into law last July included a new $6,000 tax deduction for seniors. That sounds great on the surface, but the Social Security Administration's own chief actuary found that this deduction will cost the program $168.6 billion over the next decade in lost tax revenue, and it moved the insolvency date forward by up to 6 months, from early 2033 to late 2032. So the clock is ticking faster now. 6 years. That is all we have. Now let us get to what you came here for. The state-by-state breakdown. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget analyzed data from the Social Security Administration and calculated what a 24% cut would mean for retirees in every single state. And the numbers are devastating. Nationally, the average monthly benefit cut would be $500. But in 29 states, it would be even worse. Let me start with the top 10 states facing the biggest cuts. Number 10 and tied, Utah and Michigan. Average monthly cut, $523. Michigan already has one of the oldest populations in the country. Nearly 20% of the state, 1 in 5 people, would be directly affected by this cut. For Michigan, the total annual benefit loss would be $12.1 billion. Number 8, Massachusetts. Average monthly cut, $527. That is over $6,300 a year disappearing from every retired worker's income. Number 7. Minnesota, $530 per month. Minnesota retirees would lose a combined $6.3 billion in benefits annually. Number 6. Washington State, $531 per month, a total of $8.2 billion in annual benefit losses. Number 5. Maryland, $541 per month. If you are a retired worker living in Maryland, that is nearly $6,500 a year taken from your check. Number 4. Delaware, $549 per month. And here is what makes Delaware especially concerning. Over 21% of the state's entire population would be impacted. More than 1 in 5 residents. Now we are in the top 3, and these numbers are gut-wrenching. Number 3. New Hampshire, $553 per month, 21% of the population affected. That is $6,636 per year for the average retiree. Number 2. New Jersey, $554 per month. 1.6 million people in New Jersey would see their benefits slashed. Total annual loss, $9.9 billion. And number 1, the state with the highest average monthly cut in America. Connecticut, $556 per month. $556 taken from the average Social Security check every single month. That is $6,672 per year. If you are a couple in Connecticut both receiving Social Security, you could lose over $13,000 a year combined. Let that number sit with you for a moment. Now, I know many of you are sitting there thinking, okay, what about my state? So let me go through every single state in America right now. I am going to break this into regions so you can find yours quickly, and I am putting the full list in the description and pinned comment so you can look it up after the video. Let us start with the Northeast. Connecticut, $556, the highest in the nation. New Jersey, $554. New Hampshire, $553. Massachusetts, $527. Pennsylvania, $519. Rhode Island, $519. Vermont, $516. New York, $511. Maine, $478. Every single northeastern state is above the national average except Maine, and even Maine's cut is nearly $500 a month. Now the Southeast. Maryland, $541. Delaware, $549. Virginia, $522. South Carolina, $505. North Carolina, $501. Florida, $496. Georgia, $487. Alabama, $486. Tennessee, $495. Kentucky, $472. West Virginia, $480. Mississippi, $459. Louisiana, $460. Now, some of you in the Southeast might look at these numbers and think, well, $460, $470, that is lower than the top 10. But let me tell you something. The states with lower average cuts often have lower average benefits to begin with. Mississippi, for example, has the second highest impact as a share of GDP, 1.8%. West Virginia has the highest at 1.9%. These are states where Social Security is not a supplement. It is survival. The Midwest, Michigan, 523, Minnesota, 530, Wisconsin, 513, Indiana, 515, Kansas, 520, Nebraska, 509, Illinois, 507, Iowa, 504, Ohio, 487, Missouri, 490, North Dakota, 488, South Dakota, 486. The Midwest is getting hammered. Michigan and Wisconsin alone have nearly 20% of their populations directly impacted. The West. Washington, 531, Colorado, 515, Utah, 523, Arizona, 511, Wyoming, 512, Oregon, 504, Hawaii, 501, Idaho, 494, California, 490, Nevada, 482, Montana, 478, New Mexico, 472, Alaska, 483. California deserves special attention. even though the monthly cut is $490, California has 6 million beneficiaries. 6 million. The total annual benefit loss in California would be $33.4 billion. That is the highest total dollar loss of any state in the country. California, $33.4 billion, Florida, $26.6 billion, Texas, $23.7 billion, New York, $19.7 billion, Pennsylvania, $15.5 billion. Those 5 states alone would lose over $118 billion in Social Security benefits in a single year. Combined across all 50 states and the District of Columbia, the total annual benefit loss would be $345 billion. That is $345 billion ripped out of the pockets of America's retirees every single year. Now, these numbers affect everyone on Social Security, but some groups will feel this pain more than others. According to a survey by the Senior Citizens League, 73% of retirees already depend on Social Security for more than half of their income, and 39%, nearly 4 out of 10, depend on it for their entire income. Let me say that again. 39% of retirees have no other income. Social Security is everything they have, and we are talking about cutting that by 24%. For those people, a $500 monthly cut is not an inconvenience. It is a catastrophe. It means choosing between paying rent and buying medication. It means skipping meals. It means turning off the heat in winter. The states where the highest share of the population would be affected are the states with the oldest, most retirement-dependent populations. Maine, 22.9% of the entire state would be impacted. West Virginia, 22.4%. Vermont, 22%, Delaware, 21.1%, Montana and New Hampshire, both at 21%. In these states, more than 1 in 5 residents would see their income reduced. Think about what that does to local economies. Think about what happens when 1 in 5 people in a small town suddenly have $500 less to spend every month. The local grocery store feels it. The pharmacy feels it. The gas station feels it. The entire community suffers. And let me remind you, the AARP just released a report showing that 36.3% of the entire U.S. population is now over age 50. 29 states have populations that are older than the national average. This is not a small, isolated problem. This touches the very fabric of American society. So the big question everyone is asking, can this be stopped? The answer is yes, but only if Congress acts. And so far, Congress has not acted. There are several proposals on the table. One of the most discussed is eliminating the income cap on payroll taxes. Right now, you only pay Social Security taxes on the first $184,500 of income. Anything above that is exempt. If that cap were removed, higher earners would contribute more, and it would significantly extend the life of the trust fund. Other proposals include gradually adjusting the retirement age, modifying the benefit formula for higher income retirees, or investing the trust fund differently. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget actually has an online tool called the Social Security Reformer on their website, where anyone can try different combinations of changes and see how they affect solvency. I will put that link in the description. But here is the reality. Politicians from both parties have treated Social Security like a third rail for decades. Nobody wants to be the one who cut Social Security or raised Social Security taxes. And so, year after year, they kick the can down the road, and the road is running out. The CRFB report warns that the reckoning will fall during the terms of the next president and Congress elected in 2028. But waiting until then means fewer options, harder choices, and more pain for seniors. The time to act is now, and the only way Congress will act is if you make them act. Call your representatives, write letters, tell them this is unacceptable. Tell them that you paid into this system your entire life and you expect them to protect it. Before I go, let me recap what we covered today. The Social Security Retirement Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by late 2032. When that happens, every retiree in America faces an automatic 24% benefit cut. The average monthly cut would be $500 nationally, and in 29 states, it would be even higher. 63 million Americans would be directly affected. The total annual loss would be $345 billion. No state would be spared. I have put the complete state-by-state table in the description below and in the pinned comments so you can look up your exact state. I have also linked the full CRFB report so you can read it yourself. Now here is what I need from you. First, subscribe to Senior Alert USA if you have not already. We are building the largest community of informed, empowered seniors on YouTube, and I need you in this community. Second, share this video. This is the most important video I have ever made on this channel. Every single person who collects Social Security or who has a parent or grandparent on Social Security needs to see these numbers. Share it on Facebook. Text it to your family. Post it in your community groups. Third, drop a comment below. Tell me your state and tell me how you feel about potentially losing $500 or more from your monthly check. I want to hear from you. I read every single comment. And if you want to see the companion video where I break down the 6 things you can do right now to protect your Social Security benefits, I have linked it right here on the screen. Thank you for watching Senior Alert USA. I will see you in the next one. Stay alert, stay informed, and take care of each other. God bless.